Hey guys, this is Bjorn from In Flames, and you're listening to Louder.
So I'm here with Bjorn of In Flames. Welcome back to the UK.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. We played a show in Newcastle last night, and it was a real late night after that. So, considering, I'm doing pretty good actually.
Okay, sounds great. Loads of whiskey?
That too. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering, I don't think I remember the last time that you guys were the first support. So how are you guys dealing with that? Is it more fun, easier, or just different?
It is a challenge, which is sort of half the fun, like half the point we're doing this, because we are in front of an audience that normally, well, big parts of the audience would probably normally not go to an In Flames show. And that's the whole point with this. Like, we want to expose our music and show what we do to people that are not aware of us yet. This is a great opportunity for us, a platform that when we first heard about the tour, it's like, yes, this is something we really want to do. You know, we love both the other bands, really respect them. They're hardworking, really, bands that has really paid their dues and are at a level where you just have to respect it, So we're really, really happy to be here. And for us, it's, as I said, a great opportunity to mess up 45 minutes of people's lives. Yeah.
So is it easier to play just 45 minutes, or is it really difficult, especially preparing the set list, that you had to drop so many songs that you want to play, usually play?
Set lists, it's not getting easier, right? So we have 12 records out now, and that's a lot. And it's not getting easier to do the set list, but we try to do a little bit of everything, what's possible. Do some stuff that's a little bit older. We want to do some of the new stuff. And in order to, in the end, have fun,
And this is the middle of January, so I'm going to ask about your New Year's resolution.
I never do those.
Okay, is it just because you dropped them after 5 days?
I think it's just stupid. I mean, either you have your principles or your ideas, and the date doesn't change what you want to do, what you need to do, So I never had those. So yeah.
Not even this year. Nothing even small. Not even.
It's like people say, "Well, I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to go to the gym more often." It's like, no, it's not for me. I'm not going to say I'm going to drink less beer or eat less red meat, or that's not me.
And as you mentioned, you guys have been around for a while. 12 albums. I think about 20 years already. Did the perception of you being on stage change? Is there something that still really moves you when you get on stage?
No, the whole part of being on stage moves me. I still love it. After all these years, even though we're playing in front of people that are sort of not aware of who we are, they just stand there and watch. And the benefit here, or the upside here, is that people actually stay. They don't leave. That's a good sign. So I still love it. I love playing live. I love playing with these guys.
What's the best part? What you look for in every single show?
Listening to what's going on, like hearing the other guys, and this feeling when everything comes together and it sounds so damn good. that's that vibe, and then seeing somebody's face in the audience when they connect with what we're doing, it's a feeling you can't describe it. Okay. You have to do it. And what's
one thing you don't like about performing, whether it's something that happens on stage or something off stage?
It's when technical stuff messes up, stuff that's out of my hands or our hands, and it happens every now and then. It's just a matter of trying to hide it, but it's very frustrating, because then it's out of your hands. If you mess up yourself, then tomorrow I'm not going to make the same mistake, and we do all the time, by the way. But technical stuff is really annoying. And it's frustrating, and it sort of might create like an uphill struggle, and I'd like to avoid those. You're there to have fun.
What about things that the crowd do?
I'd say a metal audience is usually very supportive of the bands. They also take care of each other most of the time. Considering the energy and aggressiveness of the music, and you see some of these mosh pits and walls of death and all that, people help each other. Anybody falls down, there's always a couple of people picking them up. Sometimes it can get frustrating and scary when you have security that's not doing their job, and that's the scary part. But most venues have experienced security, but every now and then you end up with people not knowing what to do when people come flying over the barricades and stuff. So that's scary.
What about the effects of the digital age on crowds? What are your thoughts about selfies and recording everything instead of experiencing them?
Well, for me, I'm still on stage. I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. If somebody wants to see that on that small iPhone screen instead, and they're front row, it's stupid. You're there. You can almost smell us. Do it. Enjoy it. Somebody else will film it. You'll find it on YouTube later.
Do you still have people go on stage and try and stage dive or take a selfie with you guys, or is it just bigger stages?
Well, nowadays it's not as easy for people to get on stage, but every now and then we invite people up. If they're having fun enough, we invite them up, take their phone, steal their phone, and just do selfies ourselves.
And I know the band has different opinions about social media. If I'm mistaken, Andres doesn't have Facebook, or did he change his mind already?
I think he has now. I kind of like the idea of social media. It lets me project a vision of myself that I choose. It's not because you don't need to know me. Facebook, I keep that to my friends and people I know. But Instagram, for instance, it's for everyone. So I choose wisely what I show there, and I kind of like that idea. If people want to believe in everything I show and my life is so perfect all the time, then that's fine.
And I know that many between the people of the media and fans commented about the change in style. I don't want to talk specifically about that, but I was wondering, because you guys mentioned many times that that you've changed and that's what you want to do right now, and fans have to deal with it. But I was wondering, if you're in the studio and you realize that it's going to be a bit different, do you still think about the fans and their reaction? Does it scare you? Does it excite you?
No, it sounds very egoistic, but no. It's so hard to compromise between the five of us. For all five of us to be really, really happy and excited. That struggle is the one struggle we want to have, that we can deal with. After that, we're happy. We're done. There's no more compromise. There's no more discussions. And there's really nothing anybody can say that affects what we have done. So it might be very egoistic, but it is also, I think, the only way to be honest and true, and then in the end being on stage playing those songs and loving it. Because if it was something that we created that was for somebody else, then I would feel more like a cover band artist, and that quickly wears off, the fun in that. So no, I think it's egoistic, but I think it's the only way of being honest and true.
And Battles was recently released, November?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, November, yeah.
What are your thoughts on release day? Or are you just hiding and just expecting someone to call you a few months later saying, these are the numbers?
Oh, yeah. Today, there's really no point in expecting sales and stuff like that. We're in the wrong, I think, music genre, and it's never been important. I mean, it's nice to sell a few records so you can continue doing this, but what we do really is we play a lot of live shows, and that's really what keeps us going. This is, in my opinion, the real fun part. I can sometimes feel like doing a record, but we put all our hearts and souls into it, so it's not like we're just doing it just because, but it's sometimes sort of a means to get back on the road again. And that's where I measure success, or the feeling of if we did the right thing or not. Because if people show up to the shows, then you've done the right thing in one way or the other.
Okay, and to all those people that mentioned the last album being different, I know that the first few were recorded in Gothenburg, and then you went to Berlin. That was even darker somehow. So can you just blame LA for being too sunny?
No, the thing is that in the end, it doesn't really matter. I'm the same way with certain bands. You know, it's I love the first 2 records or whatever, and then I'm not agreeing with the direction they took, whatever, and that it just happens. Then I continue listening to the ones I like. I just don't go on internet and cry about it. But some people do, and if they want to waste their energy and their precious little time on this earth on that, then so be it. It's their problem, not mine.
So if fans have been following your band, they know that many members went, and even one came back. And it happens in so many bands that members leave sometimes because they miss their families or just cannot deal with the stress of touring. Do you think there's something wrong with the touring life, something that we need to change? Because it happens so many times.
No, I think it's a mindset. It's not for everyone. It's just as simple as that. Some people live really good lives working at companies in their cubicles or whatever, and they really, really like that because they get home at 5 in the afternoon and can spend time with their families. Other people, like me, for instance, I don't enjoy the travel, but I enjoy being in different cities every day. I really do. I have my family, and when I'm off a tour, I'm totally off a tour. I can be 100% there. I don't need to go 9 to 5 to a job. That's just me, and it's not for everyone. It is obviously not the most healthy of lifestyles, but you choose that too, you know.
And something about your musical style, I know that you guys are not really big on acoustic sessions, but every now and then you do that.
Yeah.
So you commented that it's kind of outside your comfort zone. So do you guys have discussions about it, things you should do? Like I know you had a collaboration with...
Well, we did with Pendulum, for instance. Yeah, we did, which was really, really fun. That was such a very impromptu, very like... Yeah, we're going to be in London for an off day, and they had their studio in London or wherever it was, and we just rolled in and grabbed a couple of 6-packs, opened up, started riffing, and we recorded, and all of a sudden we had a song. It was really, really cool. Really fun collaboration. That was really not planned. It just happened, which is cool.
So I got to ask about future collaborations. Do we expect another song, maybe another video battle like you had with Soilwork?
Yeah, that was fun, by the way. That was... that's back in the day, though. But no, I'm not sure. We're super busy doing what we do now. We had like whole last summer off. We didn't play a show for almost a year before we did Japan late last year and the US run. And we sort of now we're stuck with touring for about 2 years. And we'll see after that what happens. So we've done a lot of recordings that are not the regular, record. We have done songs that we might release, might not release, but they sound pretty good, and we're excited. It's interesting stuff. So we'll see.
Okay. What about on-stage collaborations? You guys are touring with Disturbed and Avenged Sevenfold. Are you sneaking into each other's sets?
No. It'll be fun though. These are bands that I really respect, and these guitar players are kick ass. So it's a pleasure watching them play. But I would probably mess it up for them. So they can come into our set, but I wouldn't mess up their set.
I know many people like definitions, and you guys were defined as the core of the Gothenburg sound. So if you had to go all primal, what would be the Gothenburg sound?
That's it's so very much a journalist being lazy, bunching all these different bands under one label. It's not right at all. If you listen to these bands, and we were definitely not first. You had At the Gates, and before that, Grotesque and all that. But you had Dark Tranquillity, and they were doing this before us, and they were paving the road for us, and they actually did some of the overseas touring before we did. But we just kept at it. We toured, and did records, and just really, really worked, because it's the only thing we want to do. I guess that we did it a little bit more than some of these other bands, and So maybe that's why people would say such a thing. But we were definitely not first, and we were not alone at all. Yeah.
But if you would have to make any sound, any war cry, what would represent best the Gothenburg sound?
Some bodily sound?
Yeah.
A fart?
That works, okay. And I heard you guys always have funny stories with drivers.
We've had quite a few drivers throughout the years.
What about this year's?
Oh no, he's awesome. This is a guy we've known for years now, actually, and he's a good friend.
Okay.
And we feel super safe, which is very important when you're on the road.
So, last question. I know you are into computer games and sci-fi TV shows and films. So, what's consuming most of your time these days?
I was watching before I went on tour. I was starting watching the Strain. That's a Guillermo del Toro book, I believe, to begin with. It's sort of a vampire story, but really smart. They made a TV series a couple of years ago. So I'd never watched it, so I figured I'll give it a shot, and it's actually really, really good. I started reading. I'm reading right now Stephen King, Dark Tower series. Really good. He started that in, I think, the 90s or something like that, and he's continued writing up until just a couple of years ago, which is really cool. So it's a whole series, which they're making a movie out of. Excited. With Idris Elba, you know that guy, right? And Matthew McConaughey as well. So that's something to look forward to. And I also started reading Starship Troopers. I think that's Heinlein, the writer. Anyways, it's an absolutely amazing movie. The first one, I think. I never read. Yeah, I just love it. It's like Melrose Place meets. A splatter movie. It's fantastic, all these beautiful idiots getting slaughtered, for all the wrong reasons. It's amazing. I love it.
Okay, so no Mario Run.
Dude, I have it on my phone, but I tried it for about 5 minutes, and it's like totally pointless.
Bjorn, anything else you want to add to fans and listeners before we say goodbye?
Keep coming out to our shows. We love doing this, and we hope you like our music and what we do.
Okay, Bjorn of In Flames, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.